Since you're all so determined to ignore Jenna, I'd like to know what she has to say.
No, thank you.
No.
You've made such a point about my staying at Harley's place, Frank, that I think that I would like to let you know that I plan on reimbursing her because it's a very temporary situation. And furthermore, while I'm also aware, painfully aware, that most of you in this room find my feelings irrelevant, I am not unsympathetic to yours.
Well, we all appreciate that.
No, I don't think you do. I didn't know my father. That was his choice, not mine. He found it easier not to have me in his life. But Buzz could have done that to you, but he didn't. Now, I know how much this place means to all of you, this neighborhood diner. To tell you the truth, actually, as far as I'm concerned, I have absolutely no fascination with it whatsoever, and if I didn't have to step foot in here ever again, I'd be quite happy. But I'm also very aware, as I'm sure all of you are, that in many ways, this is the center of Buzz's life. And I wouldn't think of having him abandon this or his family. And I think it would be very foolish and very short-sighted of all of you if you expected him to abandon me at the door.
You know, this is funny. This is a laugh riot. I mean, I spent most of my life hating this place. And here I am fighting my own flesh and blood for the privilege to be able to walk in this door. Why? Because I walked down on you? No. Are you mad at me because I didn't come back soon enough? No. You all know how long I've worked and how hard it's been for me to earn your trust and respect. No. No, you're mad at me because I've disappointed you. And I'm sorry for that. I'm very sorry. But I have committed no crime, and I've done nothing behind your backs. And I think you ought to listen to what Eleni said about Deanie and I settling this between ourselves. And as for Frank, you want the impossible. You want it to be the way it was, or the way you want it to be. And the way you're going to do that is passing a law that makes her invisible. But that's sad. Not only because it's not going to happen, but because all the important things remain unchanged. I mean, if I were to walk out that door right now and somebody were to ask me, who are you? I'd say I am your father, and Harley's father, and Lucy's father. I'm your father-in-law, and Mallet's father-in-law. I am a nephew to a man I revere. And I fell in love with my childhood sweetheart, Nadine Corley, and had the good sense to marry her, from which all this came. The latest of which is a dark-eyed, beautiful young girl who is my granddaughter. That is who I am. None of you can deny that. Nothing has changed that, or ever will.
I do respect you, Dad. But contrary to what you might believe, I am not holding on to some illusion of you and Mom. But I love her, too. And being that she's sleeping underneath my roof right now, I have seen how all of this has affected her. You haven't heard her cry herself to sleep at night. You haven't seen her walk around in some kind of daze not knowing what to do. And you say it's fine that nothing's changed for you, but it has for her. All I'm asking is for you just to be a little bit more sensitive and just to give it some more time.
All right. I love you all for being so concerned about me. But Frankie, I do not walk around in a daze. I'm just learning how to keep things to myself a little bit more. Well, you always used to complain, all of you, that I always popped off and said the first thing that entered my head. I don't do that anymore. I'm trying very hard to think first. And maybe you have heard me cry sometimes at night, but that was probably just because of that book that Harley sent me. You know, the one with all the sad parts in it. had some very sad parts in it. But if you listened long enough, you would have realized that it had a lot of happy parts in it, too, and I was laughing, too. Because it was just so damn funny, you know? It's all just like life, you know? I mean, it's a real mixed bag. So I'm very glad that we have this opportunity to clear the air, and I think it's time to get down to brass tacks. I do believe I have a solution to this problem. I'm glad that Jenna decided to stay, because I think it's very important for her to hear what I have to say.
Oh,
here.
Thanks. Listen, I was wrong. I was wrong to blame you for my drinking. But you gotta believe me, Roger was lying to you, Vanessa. I never took a drink before tonight. I mean, not one drop. I mean, why would I do it? Why would I risk everything that It's one night. That's it. And this is done with. Vanessa, I'm gonna go right into detox. If that's what it takes to make you know that I mean what I'm saying.
I know you mean it. I know that.
Billy, I have to ask you for a promise, okay? I want you to promise me that when you're drinking, you won't be around the children.
That's not a problem, because I'm not going to be drinking. I told you.
I have to get your promise.
Vanessa, I told you, it's done with. All right, I promise. I won't drink around the children. But that is not going to happen.
Thank you. Now, you said you wanted to shower and change, and why don't you do that now?
I did. I want to get some of this, the jail dust off me.
Yeah, okay. And I'll see you downstairs.
Wait. Hey, come on, it's not that bad. Am I that disgusting to you that you won't kiss me? You can't kiss me?
Of course not.
First of all, it was never my intention to keep you at arm's length from your family. I could never do that to you, Buzz. And Jenna is absolutely right. The more that we all keep saying how much we can't stand the sight of them together, the less we're going to see of Buzz around here. And we don't want that. He works here. He belongs here. His father built this place from the ground up, and he's got a son and a daughter-in-law, a little granddaughter, who all need him. We all do. So, as far as I'm concerned, if Buzz wants to bring Jenna around here, let him. It's fine with me. And Jenna, if you want to stay on over at Harley's, then do it. It's fine. But I think you ought to be paying some kind of rent. Don't you? I mean, it's not fair to take from this family without giving something back. So maybe it's time you figured out how you're going to earn your keep.
Well, there are several options that I've been considering.
Well, I was thinking about something a little more concrete, like a job. Now, if you're having trouble finding a job, there are plenty of things to do around here. Learning how to wash dishes is not hard, and the floor needs waxing once a week.
Hang
There are
on,
deliveries
Dee.
that have to be made.
Jenna can find her own job. As a matter of fact, that's what we were talking about before this mess started.
Fine. Well, then, might I ask, without trying to be pushy, when was she planning on starting?
Tomorrow.
Oh, great! But then it's settled. This family meeting is adjourned. You know, I think we should do this more often. It was a big success, don't you think?